Welcome back to Business Hats Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Job Nimbus, the only CRM I recommend for contractors, CRM that I used in my roofing business for many years and a lot of my friends use as well. Check out Job Nimbus. Tell them Dmitry sent you. Welcome back, everyone, to Business Hats Podcast. Today, I have a very special guest, Laura and Joel Patzke, owners of TrueWorks Roofing. I actually had the privilege to visit their company, I believe in their first year in business. Was there not even complete year, right? You were like right there at the end of the first year, I believe. And today, we're going to do a follow-up on them. So it was, a year and a half ago? So how long have you been in business now?
It'll be 3 years in March.
Man, time flies fast. So I have a lot of questions because I want to capture that time, business ownership from first year to end of third year. So pretty much last 2 years. Last time when I visited you guys, you have very tiny office. I remember you did have a meeting room space, but you have very small room where we tried to do the meeting. Where are you guys now? I've seen social media post you upgraded, you moved to the warehouse now. Guide me through your move, how your business life changed since you made the decision to upgrade.
Yeah, we were working out of a Regis, so it's like a shared space. We did have our private office, but it was about 300 square feet. I mean, there'd be like 4 of us crammed in there, cranking out estimates. And then they had a conference room that was available for rent. And so when you came, so once a week, we would rent it for our team meetings for like the full team to come. And, as we grew, we had everything, our storage shed, our little garage of our own personal place was packed. You could barely open it, full of like extra material and the catch-all and different things like that. And so we definitely, with the growing team, needed a bigger space. We found a good space that was in a retail business park, which I really liked. So it's like a high-end retail business park. It's in the exact zip code we wanted. And we kind of went client-facing. So we did it like a showroom, basically. So we have all these little mock-up model homes with our different roofing systems that we install in here, and clients can come in and see them and tour it. And that's been pretty cool. We've gotten several deals just from the location that we picked, people driving in and out to these other high-end places. And then these little roofs we take to home and garden shows. So they kind of work that way as well. So pretty cool.
Love it. I know in the roofing business, you don't have high traffic from the homeowners. I mean, a couple jobs out of hundreds, it's not bad. I mean, definitely nice bonus, but that's not the reason we're getting offices. Usually people will drop a check, mail you something. That's the reason to have office. But my question is, can you tell our audience the difference between running it from small office or home to actually have your office? Because just yesterday I was talking to one of my students in roofing school, and he's 3 months in the business, and he asked me, would you recommend getting office? And here's what I want to tell you. I've never met one roofer in my life who took faith step, right? So jump in it, because usually when we start, we don't have extra money. We don't have extra $1,500, $2,000 to spare, but I've never met one who regretted that decision, says, I never should have rented a warehouse. It's always the same story. You got a warehouse and then you see benefits you did not expect before. So there are a lot of contractors out there who work from homes, from the garage, and they think that they save money by working from home, but they're missing on a lot of other opportunities. Meeting clients, meeting subs, meeting employees, interviews, all of those benefits. I want to hear it from you. Did you regret moving? And if not, how did your life change, business life, once you moved to a bigger space?
I mean, it's been nothing but great. It's going to add to your overhead, but your ROI on it is pretty fast. Especially, I mean, like, as you mentioned, hiring, it's a great first impression for, you can say so much about your company on Indeed or any of the, online job application sites. But, whenever they walk in, and as you can see, we have a green wall behind us. It's not just a green screen. It is everywhere in our office. And, it really like screams our brand name, and it looks very professional. You come in, you see the homes that we have set up. It's just such a great impression for somebody. They get psyched and amped, and then they're also in here with, we usually, whenever if we're doing a hiring, we do kind of like a hiring fair. So there's a lot of people here at one time, and they get a whole PowerPoint presentation, which they get to sit at our big conference table. They get to see it, sit at our, watch our interactive vibe board and, PowerPoint presentations. Joel usually gives them, as the owner. I think it speaks volumes. So really getting a higher quality and a better expectation for the company that you're applying for. We've reaped great benefits from that. We've found all-stars for our team that, I think it would have been a little bit harder not to sell them on the dream, but to really just visually show them, this is what we're about.
To believe in you. I mean, talk is cheap. So many people want them to follow you, but then if you did not take a risk, if you can't even rent a warehouse, rent the office, what risk are you taking? You work from home, I work from home. Why do I need you? What do you have that I don't have? Would you say would you say it pays for itself?
Absolutely. I mean, that sense of home, so the guys, everybody always says, oh, they're salesmen, so they're always out in the field. That's not like they come sit at a desk and that's why you have an office. That's not the whole reason. I mean, our guys come in all the time and know that, the door is open to them for any questions that they have. They can always come up and pick up extra material, so they're never out. We don't have to like really meet them anywhere. And, they can come eat lunch, and take a break and talk to the owners, talk to the office managers, help, talk through their pipelines and everything like that. So it's just a really good home base for them as well. I think that helps, actually, our percentage of closing deals, because that availability is there, not just through an app or a phone call. It's that, person to person, face to face communication.
As the owners, do you guys work from home every once in a while? Do you believe in working from home?
I like coming into the office and my mindset, if I get to sit in my PJs on the couch on a laptop, I'm going to get work done, but I don't think as diligently.
You're not as productive.
And you're not, you have the availability to go walk into your kitchen and snack all the time, or, just, I don't know, stare out the window or something. But there's something about getting up, putting on a TrueWorks shirt every morning and coming in to a building that has foot traffic, so we never know who's going to come through our door because it's open to the public. And as Joel was telling you, we're in a big retail space. So everything in here is high end. It's a very nice side of town. There's a lot of, retail spaces, and also for families to come like do taekwondo. There's indoor soccer, so everybody's seeing our sign and they come in all the time. Hey, I've got a leak. I just saw your sign, or my kid does taekwondo over here and I see your guys' stuff all the time. So being able to be in that, kind of uniform professionalism in the office and ready for whoever's going to walk in, whether it's an employer, a client, or anybody.
Yeah, I think it helps separate work from home.
That too. Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, we're already, married. We're already at dinner talking about someone's roof. I mean, of course, I'm answering emails and texting and things like that, but it does help separate a little bit where, you come here, you're focused, laser focused 100% on work, and you get to, when you get home, have that little bit of separation. Okay, now it's family time. So
yeah,
I think it helps a lot with that.
I remember last year I had a call with the contractors who've been in business for 20 years, always work from home, which is great, home office. But I think if we're honest with ourselves, we're never as productive at home as we're at work. I always wanted, I need to leave and go somewhere, and opportunities are endless. But when you come to the office 8 to 5, right? Like everybody hates on 8 to 5 job, but in reality, that's where you're the most productive. You know, you go somewhere, like treat it like it's your job, which is it is. You just work for yourself. But anyway, last year, this guy called me. He's been doing it for 20 years. He wants to hire people. He wants, one man show. I mean, he has subs, he has reliable help, maybe a sales guy. I don't remember all the details. But he's like, give me advice. What should I do? I'm like, number one, you rent the office. It's like, why? Well, you've been doing it for 20 years. You never grew more than, I think he said like 700,000 a year. You never passed 700,000. You want to either keep repeating what you've been doing, but obviously it's not working. So if you're tired of your results, change something. I'm telling you what I've done. In 2013, I rented the office after being in business for 3 months. My company's still there. I sold it, and they're still in this same space. $1,500 a month, and then we got another unit. So we pay $3,000 a month for the past 9 years now. And everybody knows the location. Everybody knows where my business is. It's awesome. It's a great feeling. But this guy, some people are stubborn like that. I've done it for so many years. Why do I need to change? Well, you calling me asking for advice. I'm giving you advice, and you're not willing to listen. Then do you, be you, work from home. We're different. My next question is, let's move to another topic. Otherwise, we'll be here for hours. Let's talk about your growth. So what have changed in the last 2 years? How many employees do you have? How many jobs you do? Revenue, if you want to share.
Yeah. So we have 12, I think, right? Like full-time employees at this moment. And then our one set of installers. So technically they are 1099, but they're the only ones we use. As far as revenue goes, we did, we're real small, of course, for the Houston market. We did like 2.5 million last year and about the same this year. So really didn't grow. But I think
did you improve your margins this year?
We did improve our margins. We improved we improved in a lot of other areas as well. I think the most exciting thing for us has been our step into commercial roofing. So United Airlines is one of our clients now. We've done tons of work out there. All of the work that
what do you do for them, and how did you get that account?
Yeah, so all of the work that we've kind of done in commercial really has been through the product Ecodur. From Costagra. And I know, Tats, and I've talked to him before. Awesome guy, great team. The product is honestly my favorite product of all the things that we, sell or partner with or install, because, we love Malarkey. Malarkey's great, but it has some differentiators, but it's still a shingle. This product is really, there's nothing else like it on the market. It's truly revolutionary, patented, proprietary, like just blows everything else away from what we've seen. And so we have we're doing a job in Fort Worth today, a coating job. We have like $4 or $5 million in proposals out right now for huge jobs that I expect we'll get a couple of those. And they wanted to wait until, the first of next year to kind of make those big decisions. But I think that's been the most exciting part of our journey that's been different since we probably saw you last time.
Very cool. What kind of growing pains are you experiencing now? I know different size, different years, always have them. What's happening at the end of year 3?
I mean, we had a big change in our core admin staff. We turned over everybody once and got rid of a lot of, I say a lot, but, a couple of positions that were hurting us for now, that we can look into, in a few years, maybe next year, depending on our growth. But we're realizing that going back to, as Joel has, mentioned a lot, going back to more of a grassroots type mentality for the sales team, I think for our admin team as well, is making sure that it's just so, because we've been in the hospitality industry for years, and you're used to recurring clients, the same clients bring their friends, and you see them all the time. And it's weird to go into roofing because it's like, it's a one-time thing, and you go through all this stuff with them, whether it's insurance or retail, and then the roof is done and it's almost awkward. You're kind of standing there and you're like, well, I guess this is it, but it doesn't have to be, because if you're really, preparing the client for, hey, share it with, referrals with friends and family, or, download our referral app that we have. And, there's, some incentives there, and really making sure that every client produces another client or a possibility to get your name out there, because I'll brag on ourselves. We're almost at 100 5-star reviews. And there's stories. And the fact that people are harping, like just really preaching from the rooftops about the great customer service, quality, and all of that they're getting from us. I really want that to really translate into all of their friends and families and neighbors, because why not? There's not a better feeling than, getting a great giving a great recommendation. So I kind of distanced off there, but really getting back to the grassroots, not trying to grow so fast. And, as he's saying, we are meeting around the same, 2.5 million this year, but with what we've seen in the industry and it being slow, and the fact that we, added on all this overhead and we've grown physically, as a company, the mentality needs to really go back to the client and really just making sure you're making the most of each client. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely been a tough year. We had a marketer we were paying a ton of money to, that wasn't really producing results. We had an accountant that was not shady, but
a lot of self-interest,
negligent,
Wow.
for sure. And so we've fixed those issues. We had a lot of turnover, people that were definitely like family, some of them doing little like side deals. All the stuff, man. It's been a crazy year for sure, but now we're like in-housing our marketing, doing it ourselves, doing it more grassroots. We have an accountant now that's incredible. And we, use like some really cool software. One's called Live Plan, and we really have a good grasp on our numbers now for the first time, like a really solid grasp on our numbers. We're kind of building like our own CRM and Airtable. And in that, we're able to forecast better. So like we have a pipeline where we have all of our projected deals. So all of our clients are in it for the next several months, and we have like a percentage placed on those to close. So we have like this funnel basically and we're just able to kind of predict and project revenue better. So all of the like struggles that have happened, mistakes that we've made, we're like better for it for sure. Mm-hmm. So we fixed that and kind of come out the other end and are stronger because of those experiences.
Love it. I want to reflect to that really quick. I want to say that when you put a business hat on, we usually as the business owners, we want to be positive. We want to share with the world positive news. We're growing and stuff like that. But doesn't it feel sometimes like everybody's out to get you? Like just what you shared, your accountant, your marketer, like your phone actually starts ringing nonstop the moment you get that LLC, the moment you get that Google listing, marketers, services, estimators. You named it, and you have to learn how to say no more than to say yes. And it does. Well, people do think that we make way more than we make, and it sucks because early on everybody's after you. And I think that's in a sense good, because that's how you become better. That's how the fittest will survive and the weakest will go out of business. Because if you don't learn how to say no and manage those people, and if you're trusting everyone, people will take advantage of you. So thank you so much for sharing. I want I want to talk about your podcast, Houston Roofer Podcast. What's the story behind it and your experience? So many people out there, they want to start a podcast because everybody's on YouTube. That's like next big thing, right? But attention is harder and harder to get because there's so much noise. You guys doing a phenomenal job with your show. How did you come up with the name? What's the concept? And how's it going?
Yeah, so the podcast is fun. It's really like a, labor of love. We enjoy having guests on there. I'm not sure anybody really listens to it other than like our moms, but
No, they do.
Yeah,
They do.
I think there's like 150 plays on one video, and I'm pretty sure it's Joel's mom. But
but it's good for SEO. It ranks really well. So like we're Houston Roofer Podcast, and the kind of intent behind it was there are of course a bunch of roofing podcasts, but we wanted to create one that was geared towards the homeowner or property owner. So to talk in an unbiased way about, our opinions on what are the best roofing systems. We just had you on, talk about directory. So any resources that a homeowner or business owner would be able to, that would be a benefit to them. We want to kind of provide that education and that knowledge because I felt like that was a little bit lacking. And we have had some people call us because of the show. And so they were Googling whatever and the show pops up and they are like, that's kind of interesting. And it's just a way for them to kind of learn more. So, and it's fun.
I think it's just a great resource, like you were saying. I mean, if I was Googling, Brava roof tiles, it's a newer, composite, you have to do a lot of research, your own research, especially since it's a higher end. And then you have this video pop up that's like a Q&A with Brava or just our experience personally installing it. It's almost like a how-to guide to all the questions that you're, searching answers for. So I think it's really beneficial, especially when you can go down a Google rabbit hole and all sorts of stuff will pop up, especially the first page is all ads. You don't really know who to trust and where to go. And especially, I think one of my favorite ones that we've gotten the most positive feedback on is the insurance claim one. And we've done a few where we kind of break it down because it's a monster, all insurance claims, but really educating. This is the conversation that we have with all clients whenever they're about to start it. And it is this in depth, but a lot of people will want to look on the internet and do their own research before they, trust somebody who knocked on their door. So the fact that we can still reach them and give them that high level of education and break down all of the frequently asked questions, I think it's doing a great job.
Yeah, you just have such an educated clientele now that really likes to do their own research. And so it's just another avenue for them to be able to find us. And I think our team likes it a lot, being able to share, like, the client's asking about a deductible and we're like, there's some validation there and credibility where they can say, look, our owners just did a podcast and a YouTube, video on deductibles. And what's legal, what's not, what's right, what's not. Let me send it to you real quick. And so it's kind of a cool resource for them as well.
I love it. There's so many benefits. I cannot find any cons of making the content. You don't have to repeat yourself. You're establishing yourself as an expert. When people searching for you, for your company, company who does have a podcast will stand out from any competition in any industry because immediately people like, well, they're here for the long term, right? Haul. They're here to stay. They're not going anywhere. They're doing the show. They've done 250 episodes. They must be real, right? And maybe they'll talk about me or my job or my experience. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the best way to sell, of course, is listen always, but educate. And so that's the purpose of it, is to really educate.
Who would you call biggest partners in business now? Like we mentioned Monolithic, other products, who do you give credit to?
So we've loved the relationship we've established with our different, manufacturers and partners. Any thing that we kind of partner with, they really have to meet 3 criteria. That's kind of the values of our company. They have to be very innovative. So kind of be the most innovative in their space, have durable products, and have some kind of eco-friendly component to them. So for shingles, Malarkey is that. We've loved our relationship with Brava Roofing. We're their preferred contractor here in Houston and really in Texas, and have gotten to do a lot of those jobs. Those jobs are really fun. I do believe, depending on what happens with solar, I mean, composite roofing is going to have a big part in the future of roofing. Just no granules, one piece construction. It just makes sense. And I know there hasn't been a lot of incentive in the, market to make a product like that because everybody's making a lot of money. Everybody likes replacing everyone's roofs every 15 years or whatever. I just appreciate the innovation and what they're doing there. And then of course, Castagra with Ecodur. We have a metal shingle we install from Castlewood. They're kind of under Isaiah Industries that we love a lot to kind of differentiate from standing seam, and looks beautiful, and it can pass in HOAs. So I think those have probably been the biggest. And those guys come down and talk to our team. I would say once a quarter, probably. We have somebody come in and talk to the whole team and like kind of educate and train the team on that product specifically. All of them have been incredible as far as like teaching us best installation practices and things like that. Just a lot of support. And so we definitely appreciate that. I mean, it does feel like a true partnership.
Got it. Two questions left. One is not popular topic. Not many people want to talk about it, but I'm going to ask because we ask tough questions. You cannot make money on every job. Have you lost money on jobs this year?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, we just had a big standing seam job, metal job, go south on us. So
how much did you lose on that one? I lost 60 grand on one standing seam job. Those metal jobs, always so promising.
Actually,
we really only
our loss on it is only maybe a couple of grand.
We really only lost about $3,000, but we were, supposed to make about 20K. So you kind of could look at it, losing 23K.
And a lot of time, probably.
A lot of time. We ran the panels, and it was just a big mistake. I wasn't there to check every panel, and we ran 8,000 linear feet of coil, and then at the end noticed that on one little ridge they all had ripples in it. And you have those conversations where you're like, I mean, people are telling me like, man, they're not going to notice that, it's such a small detail, they're not going to notice. And I'm like, I notice, and I wouldn't put it on my own house. And so you have to make those tough decisions. I would rather lose money on this job and do it the right way, because that's what it's plastered on our wall, true to our word, true to our work, and like it just means doing the right thing no matter what. And
especially at that price point, that's what you're paying for. You're paying for a professional like job to be done.
Yeah. So, and then we just had it's one of those jobs where we had one issue after another. And
you mentioned it yesterday when we were interviewing you. You're like, there's just that one job that you have, no matter how many times you go back, it just can't seem to get over that hill. And we did finally. It took a lot of resources, but
the homeowners are really cool. We've had a few other ones where that you have that certain homeowner that is just like so OCD, nitpicks everything, and we're usually really good with that type of homeowner. Ask lots of questions. They like us and appreciate us and our attention to detail. But it just feels like that the jobs that go wrong is always with that one homeowner that like you just, of all people, why them? So we have another one now, some windows that are leaking, that we scratched their windows during the tear off, had to replace these huge bay windows. Now the windows are leaking, and we got to go back and fix that, and that'll be a big L as well. So but they're all learning experiences, and you just bite the bullet and do the right thing no matter what. And
And don't do it again.
feel that pain.
Yeah.
And let that inspire you and teach you.
Love it. Let's finish on your advice to brand new startup, because numbers don't lie. You're already way above statistics, 3 years strong. Keep going. So you probably top 10%. I mean, 3% is not a lot. 3 years in business is not a lot, but in the roofing industry is a lot. I mean, a lot of people, 80% cannot make it through 2 years. What's your secret? What do you say to someone who's just getting started in roofing? Where where are the blind spots? Where are the most common mistakes that business owners makes?
Man, know your numbers.
Hmm.
The numbers don't lie. People lie, but numbers don't lie. Outsource any other friends that you may know that are business owners that have great accountants. It's just, you always need to be looking forward. It's not just what's next week. How are we finishing out the month? It's like, what are we doing in 5 years? And as long as you're out that far, then you can build, backwards. How do we get to this? And break it down into your daily routine, making sure that you really can break down your systems and processes. That's something, obviously, it's forever changing in a company, but as long as you're moving with that, like your systems and processes are moving with your company, then you're gold. And that communication with your admin team is just so key. And really making sure that the expectations are there. So really sharing we're very transparent with all of our team, our sales team, everybody, our crew, about what our intentions for this company are. And then, our admin, we let them know, financially how things are looking, what our goals are, and what we need to do to meet that. And so they can step up in their role and, help as a team effort to get us there.
Yeah, if it's someone who's looking to possibly branch out on their own, and start their own business, I mean, I would typically say, don't do it. Don't do it. Just go work for a great company and clock out at 5 and forget about work and just be blessed and be happy. And it's, no matter what you think, it's so much harder and so much more work than you could possibly imagine. So just be ready for that. And if you are, then, I think you do want to be well funded as best as you can. So you want to save as much as you can. There's every time you if you're on Facebook or something, there's always a guy saying like, I started this from $0 and everything like that. And that's good for him. But of course, the 20 people that also started from $0 that are no longer in business are not responding and saying, they're not raising their hand. So for every one, there's 20 or whatever the numbers are. But I mean, you are going to have those really tough times where you're really strapped for cash and you may not be able to pay yourself and you got to pay your team first and things like that. And we've run into tough times financially for sure. And are we going to make it? Are we going to make payroll this month? And we've never had to lay one person off. We've never missed a payment on anything. And so
have you paid people more than you paid yourself?
Oh, for sure.
Everybody.
Yeah. No, everyone on the team makes more than us for sure.
God.
That's some real truth right there.
For sure. But
you have to. You wouldn't have a company without them. You can't take care of your staff if they're producing and they're 100%, bleeding green TrueWorks, and asking, what can I do? What can I do? I mean, why not?
You have to take care of them.
Yeah, 100%. But so if you're prepared for how hard it's going to be, know your numbers. Make SOPs for every single job position. We did that this year. It was a really great experience. So we have great training. I mean, we really have I feel like 3 years into it, starting to feel like I know what we're doing and feel like we have a good business with good systems, good processes, good hiring, good training. SOPs for every position. People really feel like they know what their job is, what the goals are, things like that. But man, it's been a struggle just to get here. And I'm sure there's plenty more struggles ahead. But I mean, it's fun. It is fun.
Yeah.
And
The reward is amazing.
yeah, you know, being able to see the team succeed, come in and like if they buy a new car, or they buy their Christmas presents, or they buy their like a new house, you know, because of the success of the opportunity, the platform that we kind of provided for them, it is like something that is very indescribable, kind of how you would say kids are, you know, you can't explain that love. You cannot explain it. And it's the same type of feeling. My happiest moments in work really are like their successes and seeing them better their lives, and knowing that like we provided that opportunity, we provided that platform for them to come in and do that. And it's thrilling and rewarding, and yeah, love it.
Love it. Thank you guys so much for sharing. It is rewarding. It is hard. I love what Laura says. You know, make sure you know your numbers. Numbers are very logical. They're not emotional. There's no emotions in numbers. So many business owners are emotional. They go by what they feel. It's not about your feelings. Numbers will never lie to you. It's the most logical thing in your business. Forget about your feelings. Look what's on paper. If it doesn't make sense on paper, you should not be doing it. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
For sure. It's been fun, man. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Have fun.
Bye.